Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you will have your next Major Arcana Series video post Saturday night or Sunday morning, so definitely check that out. If you're interested in the Major Arcana Series video, the channel membership link will be in the description box below. If you're interested in any of the classes that I offer, we are booking currently for the last week of April. So once those are sold out, I won't have new readings up for a few weeks. So, okay, we have some scrolls from iScribe Steph. I'll have her link down in the description box below. Definitely check out her channel. Also, you can find in her description box all the information you need on how to purchase scrolls of your own from her. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Ooh. I really like this. Okay. On the bottom, here, the bottom. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's take a look at this. So, the collective that I'm speaking to, there's been a real big change inside of this collective that I'm speaking to. It's like us. We've been focusing here on our solar plexus energy, quite possibly the sacral energy as well. There's themes of authenticity, creativity, using our voice, motivation that's coming up. I'm seeing this as like a match, for example, right there. And I'm seeing that match has been lit. Someone here has really gotten a fire back. I'm seeing this as like a mask, right? It almost looks like Bart Simpson. But I'm seeing this as a mask, and I'm having the feeling that these are like hands that are pulling that mask down. And as the hands have pulled this mask down in the past, there's been this ignition of our solar plexus energy. Someone here, this is wrapped up, there's a lot of themes wrapped up in this. So this is almost the feeling of here in the recent past, there's been this move towards greater authenticity, right? No longer playing small, no longer placating people, no longer allowing people to come towards you if the vibration they're not carrying or the intention's not correct, right? There is a huge theme here about boundaries. That's what I'm seeing in this one here. I'm almost seeing that as an old school fence. And what seems to be happening is that sticking up for yourself, advocating for yourself, right, understanding what you should tolerate and what you shouldn't tolerate, is also allowing you to really become passionate about something. It's like it's taking your psychic and emotional energy back so that you have more to invest towards something. So someone here, whether you're starting something new or this is just the way that you're showing up inside your life, like feeling more reinvigorated about your life, this is almost as though something inside your energy body has started to circulate that hadn't been circulating for some time. And I see that this is really being expressed here through the way that we communicate. One of the things that's coming through for me are these two. The blue's showing me communication. It's also showing me something healing happening within the throat chakra area. What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing this as a mouth that's open and it's ready to attack. And then I see here that this mouth is closed. And someone here has learned how to use their words very wisely, right? Not saying too much, but also saying enough. There may be a little bit of a curbing, a passive aggressiveness that has come into play as somebody has reestablished their psychic center. This may be understanding how to show up in a more assertive way and not lash out, not wait till the last minute when you lash out. Someone here, this is really about the power of the voice and controlling the outpour and the silence that we keep. Silence is very important in some ways, right? And there's this part of our journey where we learn to not be silent anymore for many people, and then they just blah, 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 blah. Someone's recalibrating here, where they're understanding exactly how to effectively use their voice, where they're not always, having to be the person in the room that's saying all this stuff and not oversharing, but somebody's understanding how to say just enough, because that's when we have a lot of impact, right, with our voices, when we say just enough. Here, what we have above that is this. Again, this is another thing that's kind of giving me this idea of these hooks that are falling out of this person's hand. It's almost like we're putting the weapons down. Someone here, because you have taken back your own power and you've reignited your own energy body and gotten your psychic center to be present again, you're no longer having to, again, like I said, lash out. But this is a little bit more than that. This is where we're healing some relationship that we have to the things around us. And that's because we're no longer showing up in a war energy, right? Somebody here has released a great deal of mistrust, and especially in their connections with others. And someone here has also learned to allow and listen a little bit more, which is why we have the mouth that's closed now. So someone here, this may have been very difficult. You may be faced with a situation where you had to learn to not say what you want to say, even though you really want to say it. In order to give somebody else space, for example, to hear their truth and to hear their side of something. What I do see is that there is this healing energy that's coming into our vicinity. So you may be somebody who, for example, you didn't have good friendships and now you're starting to attract better friends. Or maybe you had problems within your family, and just by listening and not saying all the things you want to say, but really hearing people out, you're able to heal this sort of connection. This is carrying an energy of knowing when to pick your battles, for example. Let's see. Okay. Now, I do want to say that what's really standing out to me, I'm almost seeing these as like people, and they're like in a circle, and they're all interconnected with that energy. And I'm seeing this in here as one person that has kind of like this, I'm seeing the negative space, almost like this beautiful crown. And that's what this is reminding me of here, right? This being that's holding these little weapons off to the side that are falling now. And it's almost as if somebody removed some sort of mask of insecurity or playing small or placating. And as they removed that mask, it feels like they've discovered their own sovereignty. Again, going back to the solar plexus energy. There is some sort of transformation that has happened here within this solar plexus energy. I'm seeing this as a butterfly, and I'm seeing this as like the middle of the solar plexus. And what we see here is we see this like dark, this little dark cloud around that butterfly. There was something here that hit someone in their confidence, right? So maybe a situation that fell apart that we had high expectations for, or maybe there was somebody that really tried to take our self-confidence away. Whatever the situation is, we used that energy and we transformed it. And this is part of why we have this ignition of these matches taking place inside this solar plexus energy. For some of you, this is, I don't know why this is what's coming through, but it is, so I'm going to say it. For some of you, there's a special ability that's coming in with that, which is the recognition of others, right? Just knowing in an innate way, deep inside your gut, whether people are for you or they're not for you. I'm not saying bad people are good people, right? Bad and good people, if somebody aligns to your morals and your ethics, you're going to consider them a good person. If they don't, they might align to somebody else's morals and ethics, and other people will consider them a good person. So I'm not trying to label them that way. What it feels like is that you're recognizing on a soul level the people that are right for you and the people that aren't right for you. And someone here, this may be a gift that you already had, but now you're finally honoring that, and that's helping you to heal other things inside of your life. So I love that. I love that. What we're moving into over here, this is the energy that we seem to be stepping into. I'm almost seeing this as like people doing like, circus tricks, right? There's some sort of flexibility that's required inside of a situation, but there's also boundaries that are required. And so we're moving into the space where we're learning the fine art of fine-tuning those boundaries, when to release those boundaries and not be quite as rigid, and then when to just close the gate, right? I don't know why a whole thing about a moat and a castle and a drawbridge just came in with that one. Maybe that's important for somebody. Maybe you're going to a Renaissance fair. I'm not going to ask questions. But I do see that this extends just a little bit beyond our relationship with people by fine-tuning this barrier around us in terms of our boundaries, and carefully crafting the energy that we allow in. Someone is noticing that themselves as a psychic empath, the information that they're getting and the information that has access to them is being fine-tuned. So this is where a psychic empath really learns to empower themselves, right? They're not subject to all the emotions of everybody that they don't want, because they've established better boundaries inside of their life. For others of you, if you're a medium, for example, this might be establishing boundaries against what comes towards you in a better way, without, having to do all the hoogie boogie to make that happen. It's just a natural part of who you are now, because you've had such great boundaries with others. Because again, there's something being fine-tuned here. I also feel that some of you may be having this, I was detecting an older masculine energy that is kind of tuning me in for this. So some of you may have a grandfather that you're aware is around you at this time. Others of you, it's a guide that's very grandfatherly, right? An older male, most likely, somebody who is more protective, but also seems a little bit like they're leading you a little more intimately than normally I see. So for example, a lot of people have this idea of their guides, that their guides are like making things happen and taking them around. And that's why there's a lot of confusion. Fortunately, that's not always the case. With this particular guide, it feels like they actually are. It feels like this person is trying to navigate us towards something. This is interesting. This is interesting. Okay. A whole lot just came in with that. Okay, let's lay cards on top of that and I'll go through this. Okay. Whoever I'm reading for, one of the things that just came in is that with this process of this reignition, it's almost as though this grandfatherly-like being is the teacher now, right? They're setting up certain things inside your life for you to learn from. And, it's your free will whether you go into these situations or you don't go into these situations. You don't need to know the fine details of it. You just need to take what you've learned in the past and apply them to your life now. For many of you, that's going to be speaking your truth, showing up authentically, knowing when to say things, knowing when not to say things, knowing when to invest energy, when not to invest energy, understanding appropriate boundaries, when you should, reach out, when you shouldn't reach out, what's your responsibility, what's not your responsibility. By enacting all of those previous lessons, you're naturally going to fall into the appropriate learning phases or learning situations that this particular guide seems to be bringing you through. There's something you're being prepared for. We have the priest, we have perseverance and faith. So this is very much my card for trust the process, right? Someone here has graduated from being in kind of this, how do I put this? The normal state of chaos that people kind of experience, and you've graduated into this much more high priest sort of energy, and this being, this guide who is now acting as the new teacher is really bringing you through a series of lessons, and that doesn't have to be negative, right? They're negative when we don't see. So this, and some of you, whatever, some of you know what I mean. There's this series of lessons that we're being navigated to because there's a final outcome. There's something we're being prepared for here. Okay, let's see. Okay, this card is telling me okay, wow, everything just shifted to me. Okay, wow, all right. Ooh. So apparently the first 10 minutes of this reading was set up for the rest of the reading. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the sentinel, and this is very much the energy that this being is giving me, this older male energy. And he may not be older, it's just a bigger presence, right? With the sentinel, this is a shield, a protection. This individual seems to be helping you learn to protect yourself, to have good boundaries, to understand when to expend energy, not to expend energy, how to stay present within yourself. Notice these circular patterns that are showing up, right? I am whole and contained unto myself. So someone here, whoever this message is for, you've also been through a whole process process of learning your own wholeness and how to provide yourself with your value, not expecting value to show up other places. With the Sentinel, there has been a lot of determination on your part to get through a certain phase. That's how it feels, a certain phase or a certain cycle that keeps repeating inside of our life. And this is really where we have cut the strings of fate, so to speak. Here we have the fate. But this is also a being that's leading you towards some sort of destiny. Again, with fate showing up here, we have the wise one, tradition, and order. This feels a lot like, I'm going to say it in mystical terms, right? This feels a lot like the spirit teacher, and this is the true teacher. When the student is ready, this teacher appears, and this is what has been, this is kind of what's gone on all of human history, whether it was through shaman or it was, you know, priests or high priestesses. There was always a spirit teacher in many traditions who would take the reins at some point and help someone grow that last stretch of their journey, right? Which is still a long journey, don't get me wrong. But there seems to be, again, this sort of spirit initiation taking place because you're being prepared for something. I had a question once. It was like, but, you know, do people actually get initiated? Do people get initiated all the time? Spirits initiate people all the time. That's how people get initiated into shamanism at a very young age. So somebody here, this is what you seem to be experiencing. It's almost as though we've gone through a series of lessons and now our perception is different. Our perception of the world is different. Our perception of ourself is different. And now we see. And I don't know why that's what's coming through so strongly for me, but it's seeing. And then what we have here is we have this sort of, this like, I want to show you this. I'm almost seeing this as like the hand of this spirit teacher, and I'm seeing this plant being ripe for the picking, right? So it's almost this feeling of, oh, this student is now ready, let's pick them. And you know, being prepared for the table of the king is something that came through. So I feel like that's going to resonate for somebody here. Oh, no way, the king. I didn't even realize that was on the bottom of the deck. This whole theme of sovereignty, which, you know, I'm about that. The self-sovereignty comes in. Now, for some of you, again, we have that wheat. We have the hands about to pick that wheat, but we have the witch here. We have experimentation and rebellion. For some of you, part of this path that this guide is going to bring you on is to dramatically be different, right? To go against social standards or social norms or the status quo, to really express an aspect of yourself that is wild and free and extremely powerful. That's the very powerful part of ourselves, is the part that doesn't necessarily fit in line with the rest of this. And so some of you are finding that that's going to be the case. Some of you, lots of heavy work on the witch wound has taken place, especially with this opening of the mouth, the closing of the mouth, the ability to take the mask down, to not play small, to express yourself, right? Learning how to be seen for some of you. For this, though, once we fully heal that wound, we no longer feel that we have to be out there in front of everybody. Sometimes we understand how to practice restraint. We understand wise ways to use our energy, wise ways to use our visibility. And this is beautiful. Someone here has really matured in this healing process. This is a very wise energy that's coming through. We have, you know, the witch, experimentation, rebellion, the wise one, tradition, order, and then on the very bottom, I'm being told to take this one. It's the assassin, ruthlessness, and conviction. Right here. So one of the things, this is showing up next to fate with the scissors. One of the things that's coming in for this is this energy of ruthlessly sticking to a path or ruthlessly sticking to one's ideology, this newfound ideology. And I don't feel that this is like an unhealthy version of an ideology. Again, this is me. You can take it or you can leave it, and being very ruthless about it. I mean, you guys know I'm all about that, right? I'm extremely ruthless about what I'm doing. And I don't answer questions. I don't explain myself to anybody. People can take it or they can leave it. I don't have time to explain myself. I don't have time to, with the bullshit and the, you know, the accusations, narrative, placements, all the stuff that people want to do, because people can only perceive what they've experienced, right? If people are perceiving and projecting something onto you, they're telling you who they are. And I don't have time for it. This train ride doesn't stop. I'm doing my own thing. You can either like it or you can dislike it. And that's very much the energy that I'm seeing with this ruthlessness and conviction showing up after this wise one and the witch. Someone here is understanding the value of that, because this is where we gravitate and we attract the people who really can benefit from the energy we're putting out, as opposed to just receiving entertainment from it or something that's just vanity, right? Also, someone here, I don't necessarily think that you're stepping into a place where you're trying to give energy. I think that you may be stepping into a place where you're trying to carefully craft something. And, there's times, for example, where I'll turn my comments off. And part of the reason why I'll turn my comments off is because I'm trying to carefully craft something off to the side, and I need all of my psychic energy to myself. I can't have that when I have a lot of people whose intention is getting my attention, right? So that's one of the reasons why I'll turn comments off occasionally. And you'll notice whenever I do that my channel will grow. And I did that very briefly for like a day or two in the very beginning, and then I didn't do it again until the last few months. I had you guys know if you've been with me. And so this is learning how to use our energy and how to expend it and how to carefully craft things with it. Someone here, you're being brought into a big lesson about energy dynamics so that you understand things like that, how things pull on your energy, how things take your energy, how you need to take those energies back to place them elsewhere to grow your life. So this is beautiful. This is like, I love when I have this sort of teacher energy show up, because this is when we start to learn the fine-tune information about energy, about people, about ourselves, about the world, about our boundaries. And this really kind of supercharges our path for the next phase, right? You're being prepared for something, and that's the message that keeps coming through, whether that is to have a YouTube channel and to be in front of people and to help a lot of people, or if it is, for example, to get certification in something so that you can help more people through something official, right? An official position. There's something here that's happening inside of someone's life, and I do feel some of you are creating something. That's what it's going to be. But there is something happening in somebody's life here where you are being prepared for this. It's almost as though this was part of who you were, part of the word destiny keeps coming up in this reading for me, and this is something that somebody knows. There's also something that is manifesting for someone also. I do want to say that because I do have this triangle that's speaking to me right now. So there seems to be some sort of manifestation that we are being prepared for as well. There just has to be some sort of string or loose end that needs severed or tucked in. It needs cleaned up just a little bit. Some of you will know what that is right now. Some of you, it might take a few weeks to understand what that is. But yes, I love this. All of the hands are standing out to me. And whenever I have hands, this is, to me, it's speaking about the careful crafting of things. And so there's just this, like, the pulling of something that's ready is what's coming out. The pulling of something that's ready. This I feel like this just opened its eye, right? We have the eye here, and now it's shining down, and it's illuminating something that's ready to be harvested and set before some like royal sort of thing. What is this? Okay, I'm going to say this. This isn't going to resonate for everybody, but I'm going to say this because I know that this is for somebody. This imagery of the king keeps coming up. Some of you, and I don't say things like this in my messages very much, so this is how I know this needs to be said. Some of you, there's somebody who is of high status that is going to be attracted in, or who is going to notice what it is that you're doing. And this individual is going to have a very big part to play in you reaching the people that you need to reach in order to help people in the way that you feel that you're supposed to. Some of you, it may not be helping people, right? It doesn't always have to be about helping people. Sometimes it's about adding joy or beauty to people's lives or in the world, right? If you're carefully crafting something and you're making something, for example, if you're an artist, or perhaps you're somebody that, you like to act, and or you're a script writer or something like that, there seems to be somebody that is about to be attracted in, and you're being prepared for a measure of success that you're going to experience after this person notices you. So okay, yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting. It's like someone here in this collective is fine-tuning a skill also. Many of you, this is taking place on an emotional, spiritual level. Okay, yeah, so I love that. That's exciting. Whoever that's for. So I'm going to leave this here. If this resonates for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.